Hey Mac, how are ya? Oh, I'm in the garage. Kids are in bed. Thursday night. Little Ty's been a little bit sick. He's had a fever. Yeah, he's doing alright today. He still having medicine. Last couple of days he's had a fever and not feeling that good, unfortunately. I'm a bit stuffed up myself. Anyway, Kath's curling tonight. First time back since curling since we got back from Oz. I'm just working on the project bike. Yeah, so working on the project bike. So I found this sprocket in a bucket of bike parts last night. I dropped something and I looked in a bucket and well, anyway, right now I'm messing around with gear ratios for this project bike of mine. So it's that one with the 2-speed internally geared hub. I eventually want to put a belt drive on it, so it's not going to use a chain. It's going to use a belt, like some motorbikes have a belt. There we go. Anyway, right now it started with I think this is a 46. Oh, there we go. That's a 48 tooth front sprocket. Oh, that was way too tall. So the bike had the hub had a 48 on the front and 19 on the rear, came with the hub. And then I tried 20 rear, and right now I've got I'll show you. I've got a 23. I got a 23 on the back and a 42 on the front, but it's still too tall. So I'm going to try this. I got a 36. So I'm going to. Whoa, wow, that looks a lot smaller. It may be too small. Anyway, I'm going to try this. So tonight I'm just going to pull the 42 off and swap it for the 36. And if it's not raining tomorrow, I'll ride it to work. I think it's going to be coming down lots of rain. Last night I worked out here and I played around with the hub. It's a SRAM. I'll probably talk to you about it. It's a SRAM automatics, and it's a 2-speed internally geared hub. You should be able to hear it. Yeah, there we go. It's got a coaster brake or back pedal brake, and it automatically shifts up depending on your road speed. So as you increase your speed, there's some centrifugal weights which rotate a little cam and it goes into overdrive. Yeah, so there'll be no brake cables, no shifter cables on this bike. It's not going to look exactly like that. I'll just borrow those handlebars off Andy and the pedals. But it's going to be, yeah, very clean bike. I'll eventually put mud guards and what else? And a rear rack on it. So it's going to be my bike for it's going to be my daily bike for getting to work and back. So, oh yeah, and it's got an eccentric bottom bracket, which is really cool. I've never had a bike with it, and I don't think I've even heard about it till fairly recently. So it's got, I'll show you, it's got vertical rear dropouts, but because it's essentially single speed, like it's just one cog on the front, one on the back. You need a way to be able to tighten the chain. So what I made it's called a pin wrench, I think. I made this up at work. I think I've seen your photos of that. And then what they do is, I'll show you. Basically the bottom bracket is on an eccentric. So I just undid the pinch bolts, and these just go in here, and you look at the chain, see that? Give you another view. So you just, the bottom bracket rotates, see there? The whole bottom bracket shell rotates and alters the, well, it's called the chainstay length, but basically puts the cranks further towards the back wheel. Yeah, so you can tension the chain or the belt. That's how you do it. So it's pretty neat. Anyway, that's the job tonight. Last night, I had the hub apart, and I adjusted. There's a little spring that these counterweights work against. See if I can rest this up somewhere. It's gonna fall on me. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah. So there's a little spring. These counterweights get flung out as you speed up. Well, there's a little spring that holds them in. Anyway, once your speed gets fast enough, the weights work against this, overcome the spring tension, and shift into overdrive for you. So you can change the tension on this spring. You just sort of pull it out and manually, overwind it or unwind it, and it alters the shift, the shift pattern of the hub. So that was really good. So tonight, so I got that back together and adjusted the hub bearings properly. So tonight I'm just gonna, put this little 36 on. Might be too low. Anyway, I'm just experimenting with the right gears, front and rear. And once I find the right gear that feels good for riding to and from work with the hills and, the kids' backpacks and towing the trailer and all that, then I'll go ahead and get the belt. So you need specific sprockets to run the belt drive. Yeah, it's from Gates Belt Company. Gates been making automotive belts for, I don't know, 60 or 70 years, and they make drive belts for motorbikes, and the last 10 years they've just started doing them for bicycles. So basically they last between 3 and 4, 5, 6 times longer. Sometimes you get up to 25,000 kilometers out of a belt, and you get between 2,000 and 6,000 Ks on a chain if it's well maintained. So they last a lot longer. They're more expensive, but they're lighter, they run quieter, and of course they don't require any lubrication. You got to clean them, you just hose them off. If they're really grotty, you could just give them a light rub with a toothbrush. But yeah, basically just hose the belt off and have it tensioned, and